This is Hefe speaking, and this morning we are going to be testing out the Aavegotchi Harvester release on Mumbai testnet. So I have got my testnet Matic on Mumbai testnet, and yeah, and then we're gonna mint a realm parcel, and we'll start playing. I guess we'll have unlimited Alchemica, or I guess we'll figure that out. The demo will be live for 48 hours. You can see Coder Dan has a little write up instruction. You can find that in Gotchiverse updates if you're actually looking for that information. So everything you need to know is in Gotchiverse updates. If you have never used, um, if you've never used the Mumbai testnet, you can switch to it in your MetaMask browser and then head over to a Matic or a Polygon faucet from Mumbai Testnet and request for some Matic, and they'll send you that, and then you'll be good to go. So I've already done that. So what we're gonna do is we're going to actually here. This is the article that you would be referencing. How to connect Polygon Mumbai Testnet to Matic or to MetaMask. So yeah, this is what you need to do. You need to add this information in to add Mumbai testnet to your list. If you haven't done that, I've already done that before, so I'm good. I'm good there. Yeah. So that's what you need to do, and then we're gonna head over to Gotchiverse Mumbai Vercel app. So let's go connect wallet. Begin. Hope you all doing well this week. We have the Guild Summit coming up, which I'm pretty excited about. Even if you're not a leader of a guild, you can definitely follow along and watch the live stream. And Jesse will be doing a presentation, so it's definitely worth watching. Okay, we're good there. Connect wallet. Get our MetaMask connected. Authorize our account. Okay, and this is the Alchemica faucet, so requires 5 transactions. Let's use the Alchemica faucet. Let's see how much Alchemica we actually get. So I guess you have to do 5 transactions, 1 to approve, and then probably 1 for each of the Alchemica types, or maybe 1 for, oh, I see, 1 for glitter. So you're doing 4 Alchemicas and glitter, so 4 tokens there, 5 tokens. I don't know if I told you guys, but the other day I was feeling very bullish, and I grabbed another H1 portal. So I'll be doing a portal opening soon. Maybe tonight. Maybe. Not 100% sure on that. Let's see. Transactions. There we go. I think that's it. Okay. So I have, it looks like 10,000 FUD, 10,000 FOMO, 10,000 alpha, 10,000 kek, and a million glitter. So let's see. Can I do this again to get more? Maybe I want like a chat amount, because we're gonna build all the way up. I mean, it's just 5 transactions in the end, so not the worst. There we go. And Mumbai testnet's pretty cheap on the Matic, so 0.2 Matic will get you like many transactions. Important note, the Alchemica you receive from claiming your Alchemica will also not go to your wallet on Mumbai. So it'll be there. You'll be able to use it. It just won't be in your wallet. This is just basically to learn the flow of the game. And so it's free, kind of a free building mode. Let's see, do I get more Alchemica? Or can I get more Alchemica? I did the transaction again. There we go. Yeah. And maybe one more time. Just because I know we'll be building, so don't want to do this again. Might as well, right? Like, how often do you get that opportunity to mint all this Alchemica, build with it? It's a lot of transactions. Okay. Here we go. 30,000 FUD, 30,000 FOMO, 30,000 Alpha, 30,000 Kek. So that should get us pretty far. Yeah, that should get us pretty far. Go to gotchiverse.io to select a token ID. So let's see if I can select a token ID that hasn't been taken already. Connect my wallet. Or, yeah. It might not work because we'll just have to select a token ID here. Let's go with number 1,000. Let's go with parcel ID 1000. We're gonna get that parcel. Yep. Okay. District 1, spacious vertical. Mint parcel. Perfect. Minted parcel number 1000. And then maybe we want to mint a reasonable in that area and a humble in that area. So let's mint number 789. 789. Mint that parcel. This is a very basic UI too, because this is a test. So, the interface in the main server, main chain, Polygon chain is going to be much nicer. Oh, we got the amphitheater going.
A lot of it depends on how quickly we can get the grid out.
Here we go.
And one thing to note, I think, from what I can see with our planning so far, I mean, the Gotchi traits are on the way. They're definitely under development. And then kind of at the same time, we'll also be working on the grid and the functionality and the lore and the ideas for that and a lot of the gameplay. So the first round is 25% of the total Alchemica on the parcel. So it may, I mean, I think there's a certain, we've talked about before, it was like 3 months before the Great Battle. But I mean, I think we need to go back and revise our Doxyverse Bible on that, because I think it's probably not going to be 3 months. I would say we'd be very lucky if we had grid gameplay within 3 months. But the thing is that the first 25% of round one are all of Act 1 are all in round 1. So even if it takes us 6 months to get through round 1, it's actually okay, because we could then do slightly shorter subsequent rounds, and we could still meet our kind of expectation of 2 years for Act 1. So anywhere, I would say from 6 to even potentially 9 months, but I think that would be on the later. That would be pretty far out if we had to wait 9 months for the grid. I'm hoping it wouldn't be that much, but even if it is, that just means we will probably just do shorter rounds for subsequent rounds after round 1. So the time frame is still, we're aiming for 2, maybe 2.5, but definitely not more than that, probably. Years for Act 1. And yeah, we need to update that in our upcoming roadmap for sure. A lot of things have changed. I mean, we've built out this team so much that we finally have the ability to paint more accurate roadmaps than before, when we were still scaling the team out and the architecture and all that. It's the architecture that we have. I mean, it's really world class. It's almost the same level of what Improbable IO is doing with $150 million. So I'm really just so proud of our team that we've been able to get to even now. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's been really impressive to hear what you're kind of talking about here with the milestones. And it's like every time we think something is going to get shipped way far down the road, you guys are like, oh, well, we might test this out in a couple months. And it's always a surprise to see how quickly you guys are moving on that stuff. And I agree. The innovation here is kind of, it's world class in the sense that also people are just learning about this stuff or talking about in Twitter spaces, like, oh hey, I wish there was a metaverse where everybody could exist in one instance, or I wish there was a metaverse where people could be social and actually talk to each other. Like, these are things that we're already doing, so it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, and there's not really that many teams out there that have the funding, the the actual team built, like the team that can actually ship something, and also just the willpower. Like I don't think there's not many teams. It's from what I've seen so far, it's basically in the Web3 space, us and Yuga, right? I don't know, maybe No Futuristic has seen the Cool Cats stuff more than I have, because I
Uh,
haven't.
they, it feels like they're copying us. They just released an update, which is cat gathering, which allows me to take my cat and go out using energy. So I have to like I get 100 energy a day. It resets every day at I think
Mhm.
9 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern, similar to us. And when the reset happens, I get back a full 100 energy points. 100 energy points is enough to send my cat for something called a cat gathering. So the cat goes out and prospects, basically goes and either gets ore, minerals,
Mhm.
or wood. They can only do it twice a day. But what they made it was like the items that you get when you buy cool boxes, which are like the loot packs that you buy for milk. You can feed your cat and pets additional food items to bring their energy back up and then continue to do quests. So it's not even like they're planning on a metaverse down the line, but they're right now it's just like simple transactions. Like it's simpler than even our game because at least in our game you can walk around and do stuff. In this game, it's like when you go to mine, it's just it's just a screen. It's nothing. So they're definitely making their own thing though.
Yeah, so as far as doing the single instance MMORPG, from what I've seen so far, it's basically us and Yuga Labs doing that in the Web3 space, anyways. And we're already kind of, I mean, they're ahead of us in some ways, but we're ahead of them in others. We're building out all the economy as we speak. I mean, this harvester farm release is a big milestone in terms of having an actual working game economy. Now we don't have all the syncs yet. We don't have all the fun stuff yet, but we're laying the groundwork for having a real world economy in the Gotchi verse.
That's not easy to do. I was gonna say, in building this economy out, and pushing all the features as quickly as you guys are doing, do you think like the fact that the Aavegotchis are like fairly low fidelity, like they're not very high graphics, really detailed 3D objects, and the Gotchiverse itself is very minimum at this point graphically. It's building up. We're adding structures and stuff. But do you think this approach of like using low fidelity items, pixelated and very lightweight SVGs, do you think that has to do with also the speed that which you guys can ship? Because like it probably takes a lot of time to design like these really detailed like 3D models, and to
Mhm.
actually get them work on chain, I'd imagine is like kind of a nightmare.
Well, the models people are designing most likely are not on. I mean, they're not on chain as far as like an SVG. They're stored on Arweave or IPFS. Yeah, so most of the NFT projects out there are like Me Bits, for example. They come with their metaverse enabled PvP PFP already. So what these worlds are doing basically is they're plopping those down into their game and hoping that they look good, which some of them do, some of them don't look that good. But I think I mean, for us, our strategy is we're focusing on kind of on first on the economy side, and then we're going to focus on the player versus player and player versus environment side, and also a little bit of the social side. Um, Whereas those are primarily focused on the social stuff. So I think we're all gonna end up kind of in the same area with obviously with wildly different games and gameplay. But our strategy is let's just move as fast as we can with we're not too worried about graphics at this point. because I mean the graphics we have, which are awesome, they're all also 3D models, and so eventually one day we can flip the switch, and we can have a 3D world. We just need to make 3D models for the gotchis based on the on-chain SVGs, which I think people have already. Meta Guild did that like the first week that they were around, so they've those are pretty much doable, very doable. One day it's definitely feasible. We could say, hey guys, come try out this new first person FPS mode that we have in the Gotchiverse. And it's totally possible with all the assets that we already are creating. So that's really where we are eventually going to get to. Right now, the Gotchiverse is just a very kind of almost an abstract version of the game.
That has me super bullish, super excited. I totally agree. Like, like let's work on the utility, and then, like you said, building the actual player economy, because those things take time to build. Even if you're shipping quickly, they take time for like market participants to show up. People that are actually regularly trading, like all these people that you need to like make the economy work. It takes time to build that up, but then the graphics thing is like you said, it's almost like flipping a switch, where you can yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. The idea that my Aavegotchi will be like this like evolving thing over time is pretty exciting, and I think it's special with NFTs specifically.
All right, we're gonna get back to some debugging here, guys. So it looks like some people are having an issue. Loads fine for me on this Gotchiverse Mumbai Versal app.
So are we? I had a question regarding this. There's the Gotchiverse recipe book, which you've referenced in your Gotchiverse updates tab. It has the IDs for each installation. Am I minting the installations before I go into the Gotchiverse, like on that page where we approve?
You don't actually have to. You can mint them. Yeah, actually, if you want, you can mint. We left all the crafting open for anyone. So if you want to mint a golden altar, if you want to craft a godlike rug, go for it. It's all open for anyone to test net. All right, it looks like some of you guys are getting an issue with the RPC of Mumbai. So let me see if I can find. Could you post what RPC you're using for Mumbai? Might be like a really outdated one. There's a lot of them out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so interesting. I got an altar on my parcel, but now it's telling me I need to survey. How do I survey?
All right, so yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a better UX for this coming soon, but yeah, the way to survey is you click into your altar, and your altar is now a dashboard. So you'll see survey parcel when you open your altar menu now.
Are we talking build mode open altar, or like when you click E? Oh, okay, E.
Yep.
Oh, this is cool. All right. Let's survey this. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, because I was discussing it on my live stream yesterday. It's like I'm interested to see how people treat. Like I have now 81 parcels. I feel like by the end of the day, I'll probably have closer to 90. So it's like, do I crack open 50 parcels? Like, if I don't crack them open, my favorite word or phrase that Hefe always quotes me saying is opportunity cost, right? If I don't crack open these, like all of these parcels, am I just like foregoing that yield now, or can I think of this as like a closed portal where it, speculatively could accrue value? This is not a question for you, Cutter Dan. I'm just like mute, but yeah, it's like I don't like. Am I going to be opening 80 parcels next Wednesday, or should I do it slowly? This is the decision that I have in my head.
Well, I think a lot of those parcels you have are like humbles and reasonables, right? The ones that you have right now.
Oh yeah, I think I have I think it's something like 50 humbles and probably like 15, 20 reasonables probably more reasonables, maybe even more humbles, because I think I only have 4 or 5 spacious.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it might be kind of cool to crack open a bunch of humble parcels and see kind of what you get with the VRF roll. You know, maybe the ones that are more favorable, you keep those, and the ones that are less favorable, maybe you sell those off at a good time, or you decide which ones you're gonna build on based on like the VRF roll. So maybe like in batches, like if you do like let's say you do like 10 humbles today, and you're gonna pick the 4 or 5 highest, and then you're gonna build on those, and then you're gonna maybe try and sell the other 5 or something. That's kind of how I would think of it, maybe.
Yeah, see, my mind has been moving towards. I think I'm definitely because now I have to make sure I have this correct, but I have a 4 parcel reasonable estate in District 21. I have a 5 parcel reasonable estate in District 39. I have 2 adjacent spacious parcels in District 16, but they're separated by like a tiny little road in between. So I'm gonna eventually ask the district now to get rid of that road so I can make it an estate. So my mind is like kind of moving towards, should I be taking these estates and cracking them all open? Because that's where I'm going to get most of my yield at anyway, right? Because if I have a 5 parcel estate, once I can get, all of them, I think my 4 parcel estate already, they're all at level 3 or level 4 altars. So I'm thinking of the lodge, but I'm also thinking like opening humbles will be cool, but I'm not going to be able to harvest as much out of a humble versus like if I open those 2 spacious that are adjacent and set up like crazy numbers of harvesters and reservoirs, and then that can fund the build of all the rest of the parcels. So then, if I open them and they're great, I wouldn't sell them immediately. I would build and then sell. So that, like, that's been my approach or my thinking this whole time is that, Alchemica, I feel, has like gotten near its bottom, and we're not going to see altar prices as cheaply as we did 4 days ago ever again. I feel pretty confident in that. So I think building now is the thing, and people are going to pay a premium in the future because it's going to become more expensive as Alchemica prices go up. Like I've been telling my clients, like for over a week, like, yeah, you should start building, you should start building, and now like basically Keck has doubled in price almost. FUD is almost doubled in price, and now it's like, if it takes another leg up, this is going to start getting really expensive. Just consider it because that this is the base of your check. It is your tech tree. You need that altar to be there to be able to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Real quick interjection. We have the 2 working RPCs now. 9cron has dropped the anchor link, and I just dropped another one that I just set up with Alchemy, which is a paid service. But I just made a little one for you guys, so feel free to use it for the next 48 hours.
Nice. So I've actually been able to survey my parcel, and I thought I was going to have to do 4 VRF rolls for each Alchemica. It was only 1, and it looks actually decent. It's for a spacious parcel in District 1. I'd be getting 212,000 FUD, 106,000 FOMO, 61,000 Alpha, and 18,000 Keck. I don't know what that. I don't know how that falls along the baselines, but that seems good to me.
How much
Yeah, that
Keck did you
sounds.
say?
I just remembered the FUD one. That sounds a little bit lower than the average, I think, which is about 911,000. But I would have to look at the other ones. It's in the Bible if anyone wants to pull it up. As you guys are upgrading, do remember the MakerBot is not live for this test yet. We're saving that one for you guys. So you are gonna need to spend glitter unless you want your upgrade queue to get full, because it will. That looks like a nice haul there. Lots of Keck. 24,000 Keck.
Yeah. So then I need to, before I can put a harvester on, I have to install first.
Right.
Oh, I can definitely see how people will hire people, friends, to do this for them, because it's going to be to put down. The initial build will be a few different transactions, a little bit of time. So I can see how someone with like 200 parcels wouldn't want to. They'd be eager to pay somebody else to do this.
First Aavegotchi says, I am not getting any collected Alchemica. Yeah, so I mentioned this in the update message in the final section there. Finally, a couple caveats. Because this demo is on Mumbai, but gotchis are on Matic, you're actually playing with a gotchi that's on Matic, because you don't have a gotchi on Mumbai. Alchemical channeling will not work. I think that's correct, although maybe some people are able to channel, but in general, probably not working. And the Alchemica you receive from claiming Alchemica will also not go to your wallet on Mumbai because of this gotchi situation. Because the way we've set the contract up, it needs to check for a gotchi, and those gotchis don't exist. So all that, all those funds are just going to one wallet right now. But on the actual game, it'll go to you because you have a gotchi.
I crafted 10 installations. I'm trying to craft 10 more, but I'm getting just an error. Is there? I wonder why there would be.
I was having a similar issue where I was able to get the initial installation I want crafted through the website, the Gotchi vs. Mumbai thing. And then when I tried to craft additional ones, it wouldn't let me. I even disconnected from the site, refreshed, and it still won't let me. But you could go in and just like craft, level 1 stuff. It's like next to nothing.
Which one were you trying to craft?
The Keck Harvester.
The level 1 Keck Harvester?
That's right.
Okay. Let me try. I'll try to craft that in the game here.
Yeah, it was letting me craft 10 at first, and then I wanted to craft 10 more, and it just wouldn't let me.
10 Keck Harvesters.
Oh, I can see how this is going to be tricky, like in a good way. Just looking at the size of a spacious, like now understanding, I guess, like visually seeing it here, it's like, oh, I can pack this thing full of reservoirs and harvesters. And then I guess I got to figure out, I got to keep space for a lodge and then walls, right?
Yep. Yeah. If you plan on having walls, you're gonna want to build with a perimeter.
How thick is the wall? Is it one gotchi or thicker than that?
I believe it is it's gonna be one gotchi thick.
Oh, okay, so that's perfect. So I'm planning on I've been acquiring. So I'm going to start decking stuff out, but it's good to know that I will need to keep that perimeter.
All right, I was able to craft 2 sets of Keck Harvesters, no issue.
Okay, I think it came down to my gas token. I just didn't have. I just got more from the faucet, so we'll see if it works now.
When I try to equip reservoirs, it says to me, must equip reservoir. Are you sure you're equipping a reservoir, not a harvester?
It's a harvester. Oh, you're reading.
Yeah, this is yeah. You shouldn't get that error if you're equipping a reservoir. You can't. You got to upgrade it on the parcel.
All right, look at this. I got a FUD. I'm gonna go full screen for this. This looks cool. Just the animations too. We have the FUD reservoir, a FOMA reservoir, and then we have 2 harvesters. I like that. I love the color scheme for the, it matches the Alchemica, but even the harvesters look different. Like the FUD harvester looks completely different than the FOMA harvester, even though they're both the same level.
Yeah, man, they're different Alchemica.
Yeah, it's just like a whole different design of like a harvesting pump. So that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
And like, I mean, this is great because like you're adding these animations. We've added new things that are doing stuff in the Gotchiverse. And then there's also new menus that were all just added today, like, kind of discreetly. I mean, we've talked about it, but just quick, nice, like we're like thinking about the cool cats, not to rug on them, but like they were, rag on them rather. It took months for them to give this one upgrade, which actually didn't do anything. There was a basic UI change, and there's no animation. It's just a screen pops up, and your cat's out there collecting something, and it comes back with like a rock, and there's no like indication of what these materials are for or anything. Everybody's speculating it's towards the cool cat's housing, but that's why like with this, like look at this. I got like we have an instance where we're all in here. I don't know how many we're in here right now. Let's see. F3 function F3. We have 26 players. I would love to do like a full stress test where we're all in there and
Yeah.
seeing, because like the fact that we can all get in there and everything's still running smooth, but now we have like these animations that'll be going constantly all over the Gotchiverse. It's gonna, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole new level of stress potentially for the game. Although we're monitoring it carefully to make sure that it doesn't get too hot. We do have a big trick up our sleeve if it does, which is something. It's a big optimization that we just haven't had time to do yet, which is basically split the physics engine into multiple instances. Right now, the whole physics engine, all the Citadel is kind of one big instance, so it's a bit inefficient. But that's something we'll probably be working on after this release goes out. That's gonna be huge. That's gonna enable a lot of basically like every area will be its own physics engine. So what you're doing won't really affect me until I get near you.
Oh man, I just realized I accidentally built my altar on top of my Gotchi stuck under the altar.
I've been there before. You might be able to get out if you just like try and move around randomly, like with your arrows.
Yeah,
Takes
it's
a
kind of
while,
cool though
though.
because it makes it look like my altar's name, Music City Gotchi Gang. I'm gonna screenshot that. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I could see that I've already collected a minute amount of FUD 0.001, but still, something's pumping, so that's great.
So
Um,
what? Oh,
Passive
sorry. Go ahead.
income.
no, go ahead, Efe.
I was gonna say. So what happens if we install our harvesters and don't have a reservoir? Is that Alchemica just gonna be like spilling around everywhere, kind of like an oil well that kind of hasn't been capped, kind of thing?
I don't think you can put a harvester down until you put a reservoir down. The game prevents you.
Ah, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
so it's like you can't farm until you get that reservoir. I actually had
Gotcha.
a question for Coder Dan that would be, I guess, UI related. I know with the Gotchiverse, you've enabled through the settings ways to disable, like for our friends with computers that aren't like supercomputers. Um, is there a way currently, or will there be a way for people to turn off the animations if they're kind of lagging?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think there already is. If you go outside of the menu, it's like disable animations. I think there probably is. If there's not, we will definitely get that added soon.
Yeah, my computer can handle it, at least, for now. So I definitely will keep them on. It's just mesmerizing. Kind of, go.
They're beautiful. Yeah, they really are. They're gorgeous.
Let me see if I can get some. Oh, wait, I do have glitter. Okay, so then I can upgrade these right now. Let's see. I want to see what this one looks like. Level 2. Go ahead, Hefe. You had a question, correct?
No, my question was just in regards to the no harvester. I mean, no reservoir.
Oh, I got checked. It was like your altar man. What are you doing? See, telling all the homies you need to get your up. You're messing up.
I do the VRF roll on this spacious right here. Hopefully, my luck is good. Yeah, hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that, like, because I was a little worried about 4 times for 80 parcels. I was thinking of Dr. Wagme. Keyboard's going to explode if he has to do that for 150, 200 parcels. Or Nani from Orium Guild. He has over 333 parcels. He would be, doing this all day. I wonder what the whales are going to do. Do they open all their parcels now, or do they wait? What do you think?
I think they're cracking them all open because like many of them kind of made their investments as like you said, good example, Ernani, right? They're running a guild, Orium Guild. So they probably want those assets. They're looking at them like productive assets, right? Like real estate. It'd kind of be like you sitting on land that's not really doing anything. But at the same time, I could see, just the raw value of the untapped land as well. I don't know. If it was me and I had 333 parcels, I'd open like a good, decent amount of them for sure at the start just to
Yeah,
get them going,
yeah, 100, 150 of them, easy. That'd be great. And I also want to say, glitter, man. Whew, I was looking at a friend sent me stuff very late last night, and I saw it, and I was like, holy moly, we've already burnt like almost 1 billion glitter so far, just doing installations, which would be 1% of supply. But I don't
I
think
say,
we
yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
crazy, and we're not even near I don't know how much has been released. I thought when I looked at it, it was something like 10 or 12%. So that's kind of insane to have burned 1% of max supply in just the first 10 to 12% of release, if those numbers are correct.
Wait, I don't know if it'd be 1% because 1 billion is 1% of 100 billion, right? So
Oh, so you won 1,000th of percent
it
still.
would be
Oh,
like
1%.
0.1%, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I'm still impressed with that, considering that it is like a yield coin. People are willingly destroying it. Like I know I am, because the opportunity, it's the time value of money, right? I'd rather spend my glitter than wait 8 days for my stuff to upgrade. It's I don't know. It's just like a kind of a cool flex to be able to do, but it shows me the long term value of glitter. Like it just makes me more bullish. You know how bullish I am on it, but it's like, oof, man, I didn't need that, but now I have it.
I wonder at what point it becomes worth it to install the maker because I was going to go with the maker initially, but now I'm going with the glitter strategy, thinking, well, glitter at these prices is very much worth it, compared to that high investment for the maker up front. So I'm just wondering at what point does it make sense to get the maker bot going.
Yeah. Sorry, Ernani. I saw that. Ernani, if you raise your hand, I can bring. Let me see if I can find you in the
Yeah,
audience.
I see
put
him
'em
up
on.
here.
Oh, he's up here. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Hey,
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me.
GM.
GM, I literally dropped everything to come to this meeting. I didn't realize it was scheduled. I was in another meeting. I was like, guys, can we please wrap this up? I need to get to join this one because it's really important.
yeah,
That's awesome.
we're having a good
I'm just building my
Yeah,
first
well,
harvester now.
go and definitely if you haven't connect to Mumbai and should be able to start getting your parcels all set up in Mumbai.
Also, really quickly,
Yeah,
Mark Zeller's making an appeal. Don't burn your glitter. It's bad for the environment. He will graciously buy it from you, and he wants you to think of the children, his children, all of our children. Don't burn your glitter. Upgrade to makers. That's not financial advice. That's, I guess, that's climate change advice in the Gotchi verse.
love that.
Bit of a random announcement, but if you guys haven't already, definitely go over to the V Empire DDAL, and there's it's currently us versus Starlink. Looks like it's neck and neck, 78 to 79, with us in the lead by 1.
Can
So
you drop a link for that?
yeah, 1 sec.
Get my vote on.
You didn't vote last time?
I didn't even know about it last time. I remember you guys like in a hangout after we like made it to the next level. So I have to join this Discord and then just vote in there.
Yeah, you gotta verify and then vote. Takes like 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm in. And then where's the voting? Which Discord channel? Vote.
The arena, investment arena.
Hey, Dan, on another subject, I saw the new permissions model for land that allows, for example, other people to build on your land. but are you guys planning on enabling, for example, a specific whitelist to channel on your land, or to harvest on your land, something like that?
Yeah, those are that's option 3, I believe, and we will be getting that. It's just not extremely high priority yet, but once the farming release is out, I'm sure we'll add that fairly soon. It'll be using the same whitelist as the Gotchi lending whitelist, I believe. I don't think we're probably not going to reinvent that. We'll just be using that same list.
Yeah, that makes sense, because currently, correct me if I'm
We'll just
wrong,
be using that same
the
list.
only people that can farm in your land, channel chemical in your land, or harvest, they need to be on the Gotchi needs to be on the same address, right? Yeah, if the Gotchi and the land are not in the same address, or the Gotchi is not landed from that address, people won't be able to channel there, right?
So yeah, the access rights on the contract are working. The default option is only you and your gotchis, and then option 1 is you plus all of your borrowed gotchis, and then option 4, I believe, is anyone. So option 2 and 3, we're going to be adding those in, which is whitelist and blacklist. So, but on the actual UI side, I believe the UI is still lagging a little bit. Those should be coming on the UI like this week. We have one of our like full stack devs working on that part of it. It takes a little bit of extra work to get it working, but that should be coming very soon.
Thanks, that's really cool.
The one issue I've noticed, and I have to go back and talk to a busy person, when they've switched it to parcel access rights to anyone, I lose all my rights for some reason. Like even in adventure.io, it switches from borrower to owner for some reason. So I haven't been able to successfully go on and channel with a rented gotcha yet. But that's not a high priority anyway, because if that's happening, I'm doing like 400 channels a day, and I could do it, but like, I got to build up, endurance. It's like working out. Just got to 150, 200 channels. I get more reps in every day. Yeah, these things are gone. I got one upgraded. Upgrade looks upgrade.
I'm just surveying the parcel right now, my spacious parcel. So we'll see what sort of what I get here. We'll see.
Mint myself a new parcel here. Treat myself.
Yeah, do it, King.
888. Oh, it's a humble.
Oh, I love that little soundtrack that plays when you're surveying your parcel. That's dope.
I haven't heard it yet, so I want to hear that. I keep hearing you guys talk about it. I gotta do it.
Oh, speaking of sound, shout out to Thrax. He sent me like in a DM a beat that he made, and it's fire. And I didn't know Thrax made music, so there's a lot of musical talent in the Gotchiverse. So I always love seeing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
FaZe
Thrax is a
actually.
talented guy. He's very talented.
FaZe, I think, is one of Bin Laden's friends. He made a track too of the Gotchiverse, the classic Gotchiverse DAP soundtrack, but he like remastered it in his own kind of style, and it was really cool. If I can find it, I'll definitely play for you guys.
Yeah, his beats are fire. It's like he has a lot of really, really dope and styled over. Yeah, getting the parcel whitelist thing will be excellent. And eventually, like, someone's gonna be crafty enough, because if I thought of it, to go walking around and just trying to hit random parcels just because they can. Like, they see a nice level 9, they're like, hey, it's open. But whitelisting, then it takes that anxiety away.
I'm curious about what this blacklist means. Like, you can either use a whitelist or the opposite. You can just refer the address that you do not want, and everything else is approved.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't think it'll be very much used, I guess. but it could be someone might find it interesting. Like everyone except for no futuristic.
Yeah, it's like on Twitch, they have a troll tax or something where, like, say if you don't like a user, you can put up a troll thing where they can only comment if they pay a certain amount. Yeah, I think like we're also like I'm very interested to see the future analytics we're going to get about the value of parcels now, because we were thinking parcels, originally it was just size of parcel, and then size and boost, and now it's size and boost and alter. But now we have to look at like, hey, this person's selling a parcel. Like, can I go to Adventure.io? I'm sure we'll be able to do it eventually, and look at like, hey, this guy has 20 harvesters on it, all these different levels. Now I got to think when I'm like trying to value these things, like, I need a bigger spreadsheet for each like parcel just to figure out what's going to work. So it's going to be a lot of fun, just kind of letting the market discover the value of this fully like, or this built out like yield generating asset.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I just did my parcel roll. You want to see what I got here? I got 445,000 FUD, 106,000. Sorry, 445,000 FUD. Yeah, 106,000 FOMO, 72,000 Alpha, and 17,000 Keck. How does that compare to the spacious that you rolled? I think this is a lot less.
User default, could you mute first if you're around? There you
go. What did I get? Okay, so for my spacious, 12,000 FUD, 106,000 FOMO, 61,000 Alpha, and 18,000, almost 19,000 Keck.
Here we go, guys. Surveying. Surveys in.
I agree with Al. The underlying VRF variation is going to be cool. It's kind of like pulling a BRS for your parcel. Oh, look at first Aavegotchi. Dang. Your roll was I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's kind of cool.
Actually, we got similar is this a spacious size parcel for Aavegotchi? Because we have similar FUD. I have more FOMO, Alpha, you have more Keck.
It must be, but look at this. His FUD is half the amount of mine, but then he has like 4,000 more Keck on his parcel.
Oh, so you have 400,000 FUD on your property?
Yeah, 445,000 FUD.
I would be very happy with that. I would be like, what is 450,000 FUD? Like, what's the price of that right now?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, if you calculated this with current Alchemica prices, it would be interesting to see how it compares to the actual parcel prices right now, right?
Yeah, because I mean, I've acquired spacious parcels at floor recently, like via trades, like 580, even a little cheaper. So if you're making 200,000 Alchemica, I'm not even sure what that's worth. I think Alchemica is over 1 penny at this point, right?
FUD is almost a penny, I think. Yeah, I think it's back to, yeah.
Do a little napkin math. That'd be $2,100 of FUD that could be farmed out of this parcel in, I guess, the first act, right? Or first round, or the breakdown is for a parcel that I paid $700 or $800 for, and that's just
that's just one FUD. That's crazy.
FUD, yeah.
Dang.
How do you get Aavegotchi to build the harvesters? Sorry, guys, I'm late to the party.
Say that one more time.
How do you get Alchemica to build the harvesters? Sorry, I'm late to the party.
No worries. If you go to Gotchiverse update, there's some information there, and it has links in there. Gotchiverse updates. The first link will be to how to set up the Mumbai testnet. The second link will be to the RPC. The third link will be how you can mint yourself a realm parcel, and then on that same link, I believe, is where you can also get the Alchemica and stuff like that, the testnet tokens that you're going to.
On the same page that you mint the parcel, you have a Alchemica faucet, right? Oh, now I see it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Aavegotchi diamond contract, is it deployed on the Mumbai testnet as well then?
Yeah, so Aavegotchi, it technically is, but we're not really using it that much for this for this test, but it actually is deployed. But you can't really mint your own gotchi, or even if you can, you can't use it in the Mumbai UI right now.
Got it.
Still waiting for my surveying to go through. There must be like a backup
Mine
on
took
Mumbai. Or
mine took a while. It took like 4 or 5 minutes. I had to wait.
yeah.
Oh, I will say, when I closed it and then opened it back up, it gave me the stats. It didn't just like happen naturally on screen. Same thing with the altar sometimes.
Yeah, mine just says it keeps saying surveying, so I assume it's the VRF has not returned yet with an answer.
Sergey's really thinking about it. It's like, how
He's
good?
really taking his time.
Yeah, how good of a boy has Coder Dan been? Yeah, this is gonna be good. And then now I have to figure out a schedule for emptying all these, and then trying to keep them synced so that it's like I do, but it's like I like have nightmares of thinking of my like reservoir stopping and the harvesters just everything seizing up for the 4 hours I'm knocked out because I forgot to do it.
First Aavegotchi says we can collect with no timeout. On Mumbai right now, yeah, it's the timeout is like 1 minute, but in the actual game it's going to be 8 hours.
I was gonna ask you about that. So every 8 hours, does that mean your gotchi can only empty that specific reservoir every 8 hours, regardless of like the level of the reservoir?
Any gotchi can do it. It's parcel based, not gotchi based. So the parcel can have its reservoirs emptied every 8 hours, but any gotchi can do it.
What if your harvesters are a lot higher level than your reservoirs and they fill up quickly? What is that? Where does that extra Alchemica go in that time period of the 8 hours where you can't?
Your machines just turn off. They just say,
okay.
"Oh, we're full."
Okay, that makes sense.
That's part of the calculations. If you're trying to like optimize it, you want to make sure that if you're really trying to do it down to the minute, which I mean could be very challenging, then you would have to really calculate the rates out and stuff, or you can just kind of eyeball it.
Yeah, that
Are
makes
you
sense.
able to upgrade the reservoirs past the level of the harvester?
So the reservoir and the harvester are both gated by the altar. So you could theoretically have a level 1 harvester with a level 9 reservoir if you wanted. Yeah, or vice versa.
I'm doing that right now actually because I have a level 2 reservoir with a level 1 harvester. So then I guess the question is like this more strategy thing here. Like, do you bring your reservoirs up as high as possible and then put a lot of low level harvesters, or do you put? You put a couple of like low level reservoirs and a whole bunch of like high level harvesters. I don't know. I guess reservoirs you want the higher level for both just to avoid spillover in general.
Well, also with what Coder Dan just said, right? You don't want the machine to turn off prematurely. So if your reservoir is too small for the harvesters that are cranking the alchemic out, your harvester will turn off prematurely in that 8 hour time period, right? They'll stop producing.
Premature evacuation. Is it ready to upgrade? Oh, I'm automatic. Oh no. Oh man, I made a rookie mistake. And I thought I put in the full amount of glitter to make the upgrade quickly. I only put in 3, so it's going to take a day and a half. I'll have to come back tomorrow or grab another parcel. Hot curly fry. There's a link faucet. When I tried getting more Matic this morning, right as we started, it gave me like some kind of error. So I'll try it again now. But
Just threw the link down there.
When I try to build a harvester, I get a survey error. Am I missing something obvious? Must survey the frequency.
It probably did work. If you refresh it, does it say surveying or does it still say survey parcel?
Actually, I'm not even able to submit the transaction to play the parcel. It says execution reverted before that. I can send you a screenshot if that helps.
And your RPC is working?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I was able to mint the parcel, to mint the alchemy, and so forth.
Okay, yeah, send me a screen if you can send a screenshot. Must survey before equipping. Yeah, so you need. So, did you survey with your altar?
What this survey stands for? Like collect, not channel alchemica, right?
Yeah, there's a button on the right. It says survey parcel.
Oh, I see it now. What is the principle of these functionalities, like identifying the amount of alchemica on the parcel?
Yeah, so what's happening is we take your parcel and also where it's located, like if there's any boosts next to it, and then it does a random number roll we're using Chainlink VRF, which is an on-chain verifiably random number, and then we calculate the amount of alchemica on your parcel for this round based on that number.
Oh, this round?
Yeah, so there's total there's going to be 10 rounds, which means you can roll 10 times, and the first round gives you 25% of the total alchemica for these 10 rounds. The remaining 9 rounds will give you each 75% divided by 9. We're going to be improving our documentation for this very soon for the Gotchiverse docs. It'll make this. All this is in the Bible, but it's a little bit spread out everywhere right now.
And the rounds, do they last a specific amount of time?
Nope, they're cumulative. So whatever you get in this round it just continues to carry over until you harvest it.
So the background story is that Gotchiverse technology evolves over time and allow us to channel more alchemica.
Yeah, pretty much. So what we're actually eventually preparing for here, like why do we have this alchemica? What is the reason for it? What it's actually doing is there's going to be another part of the game called the grid. And the grid is when the liquidators, who are like the mortal enemies of gotchis, are actually going to try and stage an invasion of the Gotchiverse. Now this is known to the gotchis. And so what we're doing right now is kind of preparing the citadel for that eventual invasion. So we want to build up our parcels so we have alchemica to use against the liquidators. We can build walls, we can build towers around the citadel, and all sorts of interesting things to help fight the liquidators when they do invade.
That's really cool.
Getting ready for war. That was that right there is a 2-minute sales pitch for Aavegotchi.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wrote down a note of the time. I will say, I'm just looking at the dashboard. Once you click E and you get into your tech tree, essentially, like into the altar, the one thing I do really like, I'm just noticing, is the stats on the side and being able to see how much I'm harvesting per day and the capacity on my harvesters. So like in one day, I know my level 1 is going to be full. So I have to make sure to, empty it every day. But it also, just knowing how much I've claimed and how much is remaining also, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, very useful. I have a question actually from Mikey J here. It's good. It's a good question. With the VRF, when we survey our parcel, is it doing one VRF call for the 4 Alchemica types, or is it doing one VRF call for each Alchemica type?
Yeah, so the VRF number is it's a UN 256, which is a very, very long number. And basically we just chop it into different bits and use different bits for the different amounts and kind of calculate them in the binomial distribution that we came up with, we made a DAO proposal to use that. So it's one roll, but it is different numbers for each Alchemica. It's one roll so you survey it once, and that gives you all 4 of your Alchemicas.
Yeah, that binomial distribution's interesting too, because it's like nobody can get really totally screwed, but there's also a chance you can win big too.
Mm-hmm.
Mumbai testnet must be busy or something, because it's taking forever for me to equip my reservoir.
Oh, I forgot that I was on Mumbai and I was trying to swap Alchemica to get more glitter, and I was like, wait a minute.
I have to speed up several times, a couple of transactions.
Coder Dan,
Mumbai is can be a bit weak. What's up?
Did your survey go through? What did your parcel get?
All right, yeah. So it turns out this is a humble parcel, and it does have 1 FUD boost. So I have I'll post it here. I think it's decent. I need to compare it actually with the baseline. Okay, here we go. Pretty good.
No, crud, I got to do channeling in the regular Aavegotchi burst.
That looks pretty good. Like, that doesn't look like super high, but it also doesn't look low. It's like kind of like the average, I think, from what I could be wrong, but just looking at your Alchemica there for your humble, that's not too bad. But it's really not a lot, right? Like, how much FUD do you need to put down a MakerBot? I think it's 10,000 FUD for the level 1. So the Alchemica you produce from this won't even cover half of that. Which it goes back to, like, why would you want to buy a humble? I think it's mostly for the altar. I think it's for the altar. Throw some decorations on there. Just make it a cool little place to stop by and hang out. But I can't see like there being a humble farm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what about
it's tough because there's so many levels of gameplay. Like, we have 3 completely different gaming environments that were kind of we had to kind of choose, do we want to have the level 9s generally accessible, like within reach, or do we want everyone to have a level, or do we want to make it so like humbles won't be able to get to level 9, or it's not really worth it to get to level 9. So it's a tough choice to make, but in the end, I think the choice that we in the community made was let's make it so a spacious owner does have a good incentive to get up to level 9, but it doesn't really make sense for a humble owner to do that, I think. But it's a good starter parcel, you can get a couple level 3s and 4s on it, and it'll do really well.
It's a nice entry point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that for a lot of these guys coming into the game, players with no assets that are like get really into the game. I could see them going for the humble because it just makes sense. Like, you can rent a gotchi and then you don't have to go around collecting spillover or whatever. You can just channel your parcel and then you can throw a couple harvesters down and start producing like a decent amount of Alchemica.
Yeah, and you could, we do have chat bubbles, so and eventually flip up to getting other nearby humbles and maybe creating a little state so that maybe harvesting isn't such a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's possible to do, especially with that feature where you'll be able to drain all your reservoirs on your estate in one kind of action. So I could see that being useful.
Did anyone?
So
I had
oh,
a pre.
sorry, go ahead.
Did anyone
Oh.
catch any bug? I had a pretty smooth experience.
Yeah, I had a good experience.
And I need more glitter.
That's
Yeah.
everybody. Did you see ayahuasca pulled out all of his I guess stake in the ghost glitter pool, and my glitter per block jumped like 25% after he did that.
Wow.
He was earning like 250 glitter a block or something. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Straight up whaling.
He made a good point though. He pulled it out because he's like, you know, this token is gonna accrue its value not from us whales accumulating it, but from actually a wide distribution of many people mining the token. So maybe that's kind of the idea behind it.
It's pretty noble. Just channeling my last gotchis. Doesn't seem like there's much rental. So might as well use these level 3s so I can use them against an. So Hefe, do you think if the stress test is still open, do you host the GMI Summit in Mumbai where you can like create like some crazy looking parcel, or do you keep it on the regular GMI?
Well, I think it's only open for 48 hours, right? I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, also I kind of like our GMI estate because it's like roadside and it says GMI on it. So I guess we could do a parcel where we, you know, do the same thing and put it in like District 1, but it just doesn't feel the same. You know, I feel like we own that parcel, that estate, so we should try and you know, host our first event there to christen it.
no, that's fair. That is fair.
Although I did just mint a mythical raffle rug, which I'll be throwing down on this parcel after I'm done here.
Yes. Ooh, I have 2 myth wearables now. I'm closing in on a mythical decoration, but I've like kind of held off because I've been thinking about I was trying to work out a trade for a godlike, but I would have had to give away like a lot to make it happen.
If you don't mind, do you want to go into that trade with the godlike? I know it didn't pan out, but what was kind of the...
Well, it's still actively open, but
Okay.
I just have like because an offer was made. We trade some wearables like land and stuff for the mythical wearables. You know, good Gotchi gang friend, and then they have a couple godlikes that they're open to actually like getting rid of because they're hard to sell. So they gave me a number, and I looked at my stuff, and I was able to reach like very close to that number without like I would have to give like maybe 20 or 30 pieces of my land, like a lot of my wearables that are not equipped. But it was reaching the point where it's like now I have to give like prize land or like gotchis. And I was just like, is it worth it for one item to have this? Like, it'd be dope to have that one like OP-ass item because I flipped my way all the way up to it. But it's like, you know, it's like I'm thinking, is it really worth giving up all of that stuff for this one item? So it's like I've been thinking about it more. I'm trying to trade and make, you know, like figure out a way to make it work, but it's still open the trade unless the person I guess sells or trades it for something else.
What type of godlike item is it?
Well, it would have either been the blue plaid shirt or the Goldilocks, I think.
Oh, the blue plaid shirt. Yeah, that's a really cool wearable.
Yeah, so like either would work because it's godlike and like the stats almost don't find a gotchi that they work for. Like I traded for the mythical wizard hat, which in French is like chapeau sorcière mythique, which is like sounds just so cool. So that is actually counterproductive for my gotchi. I equipped it and it only moved the BRS 5 points, like compared to like the man bun. But it's like, you know,
Oh,
it's
really?
such a cool.
Dang.
Yeah, it only moved 5 points because it works against my gotchi and other stats. So I was very surprised by that. But eventually I'm talking to somebody that might want that hat for some land. So I'm just flipping stuff back and forth and trying to figure out where I'll land. But it's just in, trying to get to that 100 parcel club, because I think that's the next move. Like these harvesters and all this building that we're going to do, this is the time to do it. I've become very bullish on that, so I've just been doing it.
Yeah, 100%. I
love that.
I just bought a legendary. I bought the Mark outfit because it just fits my new Gotchi so well. And with all that talk of battle mechanics, I was like studying like my traits the other night, with like comparing them to the trait mappings. I'm like, if I get this outfit, it'll like work completely with my traits, but it'll also like maybe make it like a little bit more OP in the ring too, if these traits are actually what they are gonna be. So I'm pretty stoked to be able to actually try this out and see if this Gotchi is actually gonna perform like how I think it is.
Yeah, I've been thinking, I've been talking to people way earlier, and I had a point, but I forgot it at the time. But talking about how quickly Pixel Craft ships. So like Coder Dan, we were talking about it. And he was talking about like a staging environment within a month or two potentially for us for arena stuff to test, and that blew my mind. So like when I've been talking to people and we're talking about wearables, I make it very clear. I'm like, I feel pretty confident we're near or have hit the bottom. Because with that kind of utility, that's going to move. Like people are going to want wearables. You're going to want a battle. So it's like getting those mythical wearables, even though it's a hat and a body piece, or even a head or body godlike. Like before I said it, and I say it now, I want the one-shot hit for the godlike. I think it's well deserved if you get it. And I'm biased as hell. Like I admit that, but I was for it before, and I'm still for it now. So, but now even more. Let me walk around and like hit people with my hair or something and just kill them. That'd be great.
I think it is cool, but at the same time, I've always kind of been like, I feel like I like to be the underdog, so I'd also like to be that guy who has the decked out legendary Aavegotchi that kills the guy with the godlike, because I just, I looked at, stats and was able to strategize a little bit. Like to me, that's fun.
Yeah,
but also
I
the
agree.
godlike's pretty dope too with the aura, right? That's the other thing.
Yeah, but if you think about it though, right? The hustler that David eventually kills Goliath, but he sort of becomes Goliath in his own way. So just be careful out there. You're gonna be knocking people up. You're gonna become the monster you're trying to slay.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So you should just embrace it, but get that godlike, smack people around. I'm walking around with a martini and a baby bottle. So like it's like I'm gonna be the chillest, like most like vibe Gotchi in the Gotchiverse. Just walking around, emptying harvesters.
Yeah,
And then
I
not
think
to
I tried to upgrade my installations, and I think that they went from level 1 to level 3. Did anyone see something similar?
You say you updated an installation and it went from level 1 to level 3 in one transaction?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at my history of transactions to see if I didn't submit 2 while I think it was 1. But yeah, even looking at my history of my transactions, that seems to be the case.
Couldn't be possible, but if you can find the transaction where you upgraded, just feel free to send it to me.
Yeah.
Guys, we have one more surprise for you coming up. Gonna serve that up in just a moment, so stay on the line.
let's go. Let's go. Get some
We didn't even know
alpha.
this meeting was happening. Now we're getting a surprise. I love it. Gotcha Gang is definitely spoiled.
Do you guys have any idea of when implementing states or the ability to join the parcels? You guys hear me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what Coder Dan when they're planning to push that as an update, but it was released, like the details were released in the Gotchiverse Bible, so I'd imagine it's not too long, from now.
Yeah, I got really excited when I read that in the Bible.
Yeah, I have a few different estates now, so I would love. I mean, we need to get really the estates matter once. So once that's ready, then I think we go estates.
I got 6 spacious with the altars on level 5. I'm really excited to see that coming out to be a state.
Yeah, see, that's nice.
That's gonna be nice.
I have up to 5 reasonables with level 4s. So I'm trying to get all of them to level, because level 3 is nice, but you only get it twice a day. Level 4, even if I can't really do the third one, I can always do the third one. Like it just works out better. Where with the level 3, I just feel a little more limited. Level 6 is amazing, but when I sleep, it ends up shifting 2 hours because I can't help it.
Yeah, I am on a big dilemma right now because I really want to get those to level 9, but at the same time, it's a big investment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't think Alchemica is gonna go down much more. So it's like, what do we do?
No, I mean, I made so many upgrades right before the pump, and I did the math, and to the last 3 levels, I think it would have been like roughly $2,600 to get to level 9 on my 1 golden altar, and now I think that price is nearly doubled. So it's like, crap, I missed the boat. But I just ran out of liquidity. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, we're getting back to like at current Alchemica level 9, fireball.gc, like based on your kinship. If you have a gotcha with a kinship of 1,000, that level 9 is giving you like $3.50 USDC a day. That's like approaching back towards the levels when we were, making $5 or $6 a day channeling per gotchi.
My biggest gotchi in terms of kingship is only 450. It pissed me off so much when people are celebrating 1,000 kingship.
Yeah, actually, for the mythical items, I made a trade where I gave away one of my oldest gotchis, Dr. Malcolm Crow. He's a 537 BRS, 740 kinship, which was my highest, and like he was number 41 on XP for the leaderboard. But when I bought him, like the price I bought him at Ghost was at $1.90, something like that, and it was just much cheaper back then. So I was able to trade him, get land and wearables, which I think is, I love that gotchi, but I still have a lot of my other OGs, and I was able to actually, because I got land, wearables, and Ghost, I was able to buy another gotchi that was a kinship 600. I think it was like 616, 515 BRS, and like almost like 600 XP, which, I'm not worried about XP because I have another, was it leaderboard position number 42, and I'm constantly getting XP because I'm participating in all the voting and everything. So it was a good trade, but it was Dr. Malcolm Crow.
I'm surprised you gave that gotchi away. That was like you said, that's one of your OGs.
Yeah, it's the land is really. I mean, the myth wearable was a big like goal of mine, so it was actually for the second myth wearable. I was just like I really want that myth wearable because I feel like I said, I feel like we bottomed out in a lot of ways because once we get rarity farming season starting, all these prices are going to go up, I believe, for the wearables. And then once we have in-game traits being used, that's going to affect stuff. When we have guild channeling, that's going to affect stuff. When we can battle, that's going to affect stuff. So that gotchi, although very high and very personal, I won't sell my 3 main gotchis, which are Music City Gotchi Yang, No Future, and No Futuristic. I mean, if I sell them, it has to be like crazy. It's not going to be a normal trade of some sort. But I'd rather, I feel like harvesting is the next move. So accumulating land for me in the last few weeks has been the goal because I can have 1 gotchi and still farm 100 pieces of land. The Alchemica that you're getting from channeling it's not going to be, it's going to be like pennies compared to what we're going to see if you harvest and build correctly with a good strategy in the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely check out Mikey J's whole write up that they did, because there's 4 like player styles, and there might be some variations of them too, but there's 4 like main ways to kind of approach your your building, and some are more optimal than others for sure, but everybody's gonna approach it differently, I think. Definitely go have a look at that. Somebody posted it on Twitter last night, so if I can find that.
Actually, I did read it because I like somebody. I think it was Gmi Warriors. They put up a poll of some sort, saying which one you would be, and I saw the graphic there, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm the upgrader.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more of the expander. I was gonna be the low leveler, but my strategies changed after the adjustments.
See, that's why I say we say there's only 4 ways, but I'm gonna look, and then we're gonna innovate and find new ways to optimize that no one could have saw coming, because the game wasn't, we didn't have everything set up. There's going to be some kind of little advantage. That's games in general. There's going to be some strat here that we can find a new way to maybe make this yield even better, that maybe people didn't see previously. It's almost like the rental market. Think about it. Everybody was starting the rental market trying to look for scholars, and then a few people started switching up cost ghost rentals, and then we talked about it more and more on Twitter. And then now many people started switching to that, which kind of wrecked the market because it was really good at the beginning. So it's like that strategy was like, it came out of nowhere, and then everybody kind of adapted to it. And then it's the same thing when we do GBMs, and everybody thinks that they had the inside because they wrote down all the token IDs for the stuff that they want to hit, like the godlike items. But it's like, right before the GBM, you tell everybody those token IDs, scramble and figure out a new strategy because everybody's kind of running the same trade.
Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot, I think, at the start, until everybody like finds their own way to do things. Like Mikey J's, he even suggests like small bags, single Alchemica upgrader, also a good strategy. So there's another way to approach it there.
Yeah, I guess you have to also think about it like this, right? It really does depend on for you, if you rolled that VRF, I had a spacious parcel and had 400,000 FUD on it. I think it would be smart to go after the FUD first. Like that's what you would focus on building up for, right? Like a whole bunch of FUD harvesters and reservoirs to take advantage of that. And then maybe on another parcel that has more tech, that's where you focus your tech operation.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is also going to be, I have to write every one of these numbers down somewhere. I'm going to have to create a spreadsheet for every, not a spreadsheet for every piece of land, but a spreadsheet with every piece of land. Or each of you probably will do it. I don't want to force that on her, but she's so quick with all this stuff. But I'll have to keep some kind of way so that I can analyze it and be like, oh yeah, this place should have this and this, depending on location, where, do I want all my Keck specific parcels if they're near some kind of entrance to the Citadel? Is it a smart idea to build there if we're going to be invaded at some point? That has to come into play,
Oh yeah, it's like, what neighborhood are you going to be in? Because when those liquidators invade, do you want to be inner wall? Do you want to be inner wall? Or do you want to be out kind of closer to the fringes of the Citadel, where you might be okay because everyone's going to be going for that great portal during the battle.
Yeah, I think it'll be amazing for the great battle, especially if you're equipped well, with smacking things around. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Liquidators is probably the thing that I'm most excited about in the Gotchiverse, because it will allow a lot of people to join the game, right, on board. And it will also be interesting to see what kind of gameplays are gonna, come about around that. I know that it will be definitely a system that it will be exploited by bots and such. So I'm really keen on, hunting bot liquidators in the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, I feel like us having the capability of killing other things, if they're bots, then like if we could PvP and we start finding, seeing bots in the Gotchiverse, it'd be easy to walk around and kill them. So if they're liquidators, we're definitely going to be OP compared to them. So it'll be fun just to walk around and kill them.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if we'll get liquidators in the Gotchiverse, but I've had this thought where we could have like maybe there's like mini liquidators that show up every now and then that are like, they're not that hard to kill. It's just something to beat down. But like
Are you talking about the Citadel or you said they would be in the
Citadel.
Gotchiverse?
Yeah,
Okay,
well, we know the liquidators won't be in the Citadel unless it's the Great Battle. But what I'm
Yep.
thinking is just like to have like another like NPC type character that you can just like fight, just to like test out your abilities even. Maybe these like pop up from like the ground or something, and maybe if you kill it, you get like a little bit of Alchemica or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking of the arena and how this. So it's like we have multiple wearables. So is it going to be something like a playing card type game? Pokemon dope as hell. You see the Gotchi's traits and then the moves it has based on like whatever weapons, or is it just going to be two Gotchis kind of think of the Gotchiverse, but like say we're in a grid, like a small like octagon or something, and we're able to run around and deploy our weapons like in a just straight up like actual like moving around in the space versus like almost like an Axie kind of card play thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd actually want it to be a turn-based game. That seems like a kind of a low bar for what we're doing because our gotchis can move around. They have the potential to have actions, and they do have these like really cool wearables that might have their own abilities. So I'd like to see like the live action, move like you say, move around in the arena, dodge attacks, and like have different attacks for your weapons as well. I think
Yeah.
that would be like really cool to have like a battle mechanic like that. There is no game out there that's been able to do that yet. Even like Illuvium, which is supposed to be like a blockchain version of like Pokemon, they're like completely turn-based card games. So it's like you're waiting your turn, and then you're
Yeah.
playing your attacks, and you're waiting. It's just not my play style. It's something I didn't really enjoy particularly about like Axie, but I know some people really enjoy the card games. So maybe someone will make a version of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the beauty of the Aavegotchi protocol. Someone could come in and make a mini game on the parcel DApp of a turn-based, fighting game for gotchis. We're not limited to just one, which is awesome.
But just on the comparison to Pokemon, right? I played Pokemon for a really long time on those bad boy Game Boys. And just to remember that it was also a turn-based game, right? So you have your character, you can walk around, you can explore the world, but when it comes to the actual battle, it was a turn-based game. But to no futuristic points, I think that the good thing about having an entire metaverse, right, the Gotchiverse, is that you allow for multiple types of gameplay. So we can have that. We can have that game for the specific public or audience that likes this type of game, but we can also implement more there. Or real time type of games, right?
Yeah. So really quickly, because this just came out, Aavegotchi just did a Gotchiverse update. I have it up on screen, and basically there's a new crafting and
Crafting Wednesdays, baby.
Yeah, this looks cool. The video looks really
Dang.
cool. I'm not playing the music. I'm sure it's some badass music, but I don't want to, deafen everybody by playing it. But yeah, this looks great. So this is Coder Dan. Can you tell us a little bit?
This is the first craftable decoration that it's going to be launched on Crafting Wednesdays. So this is the Grand Fountain. It's a 4x4 fountain that's going to be on your parcel, and it actually is going to have sound effects as well that will kind of get louder and softer as you walk closer to it and then farther away from it. So that's kind of the reason that it won't be live this week. So you can craft it this week and next week, and it will be equipable on your parcel by next week. So we need a little bit of time to finalize the sound, the 3D kind of sound it's gonna have. But yeah, it's gonna be dope. I was looking at it. It's sexy. Really like it. And the cool thing about it is that all the Alchemica that's getting that goes to us on the Pixelcraft side, 30%, that's all going to go to Goobs as well to help him out.
What's the size of this installation in gotchis?
It's 4x4. It's a 4, so it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller than the Gotchi Lodge and bigger than the altar.
Oh, that would look real nice in front of a gotchi lodge as you're kind of walking up to it.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
I see that you'll be able to craft it. It will be like the rugs, where it's a limited time type of crafting.
Well, the thing with the rugs is that we rugged it whenever we wanted to. With these, they're going to be open for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, cool. That's also another way of launching NFTs, right? I wonder if you guys ever had discussions regarding the comparison with raffles and the friends token and this way of crafting NFTs, and if you plan to, I don't know, unify them in the future or something like that.
Yeah, we actually talked a lot and brainstormed a lot of different ways for how to drop stuff in the Gotchiverse, because we really do not like first come first serve, as you guys can probably tell. It's just like we think it's the worst type out there. So we knew if we have first come first serve crafting for these things, someone's just going to buy them all up in the first minute, and then they're going to flip them on the bazaar. So we're like, well, what if we have them for a certain period of time in which we don't know what the fixed supply, we don't know what the final supply is going to be, but everyone in the market knows how long it's going to be available for. So it's a very interesting dynamic that I haven't really seen it in a lot of other NFT projects, but pretty interesting to explore. I'm really enjoying it so far. I love the uncertainty.
It is
Like,
it is interesting the way you guys are doing it, because actually that's the approach we took for No Futures NFT that we did with GMI a while back. We left it as an open mint for about a week, and then we closed it out on our episode of D420, and then we did a raffle after with those tickets. So, the NFTs. So that's kind of what we're thinking with what GMI is doing. We're also doing some sort of a fundraiser for Goobs through some NFT art that we're working on. Done by Bin Lagan and Rigo Mortis. So I'll drop the details for that here in a sec. But pretty excited about that too. And we'll be donating the majority, pretty much all of it, to Goobs there.
of installations and crafting, I believe the grass is going to be deprecated today as well. Should be, I think it's the purple grass is due to be deprecated today. So, final call for purple grass, guys. I believe it should be getting off here very soon.
Actually, I do need some grass.
But the reason I
final
brought this
double check on that.
comparison between raffles and limited time crafting is because I wonder if there was a way of unifying this approach of launching NFTs and to bring more utility to one specific type of assets, right? For example, it would be really cool if we Alchemica to mint tickets instead of friends, something like that.
Yeah, there's a whole discussion on using glitter to mint tickets. That's following that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this method it's really great because we can set the price, we can set the fixed time frame, and then however many are minted is what the final quantity ends up being. And we don't have to do a first come first serve. We also don't have to do like a full blown GBM auction for each one. It's we can just kind of set it and let it go and see how many get minted. Really, it's a nice. I think it's a nice way to drop these kind of assets every week. But yeah, this fountain is dope. I mean, looking at it, it's like the music it plays. It's also really just relaxing, right? We haven't really experimented too much with sound in the Gotchi verse. This is kind of the first experimentation of that.
How does that work? The closer you get, the louder the noise of the fountain is?
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's just like a real life fountain, or like a real life thing. It'll have a kind of a proximity sound. So the closer you are to it, the louder it'll get until it gets to its final volume.
That's really cool.
Okay, I just minted a whole bunch of grass. That's to be expected of me, but it was I was already on grass, so now I got it.
No futuristic will control the grass market.
Yes. Oh no, they're friends. I know people. I think it's White Ranger. How he's like he owns like 200 or 300 pieces of grass, and that he's gonna like it's gonna that's where he's gonna retire off of like next year. I believe it's him.
Are we ever gonna see more grass in the Gotchiverse? Just wondering. Other colors, other concepts of grass, or is this is it for grass?
I think there's a little bit more room for playful experimentation with grass, but we definitely don't want to. We're not going to have like another purple grass for a while, if ever, or like a cyan grass.
Minting some grass right now.
Yeah, same thing. Full market run on grass. I'll trade my FOMO for FUD.
Better hurry up.
People getting grass FOMO now.
Yeah, right. That's why when Coder Dan was talking about these like these drops that are it's uncertain, you don't know when you're gonna get rugged because they stop production of these items. I think of it's a feature, not a bug, right? It might seem annoying, but it's actually great because it creates this uncertainty, and that uncertainty in and of itself creates FOMO, which is we're all seeing happen right now live. Like it's like, oh wait, you're taking away the grass. Like you're telling me I can't get grass anymore. I have bought no grass previous to this until he said that I can no longer get it. Now I need it, like because there's it's going away. It's weird how the mind works sometimes.
Yeah. How did you not buy any grass until now? That's surprising.
I was focused on Alchemica for upgrading, like because I was trying to get up to the level 9. So like every piece of Alchemica I've gotten has been put in right back into parcels. So that's how I have. They have like 19 level 4s, 26 level 3s, 2 level 6s, and the rest are level 2s. So it's trying to get them all up to level 4 slowly. All right, now I got some grass. I can build a chess game or something on my big parcel.
Yep, just minted some more purple. Gotta get that grass.
So this is weird. Like my survey still hasn't come through, but I just went ahead and start building anyway. And now I've got like a harvest rate and everything, but it still hasn't surveyed.
It probably did. It's just maybe it's not
Yeah, it's just
updating.
not showing me. Yeah, and I've tried logging out and coming back in and all that, and it's just not updating.
Do you
But I've already
see-
got reservoirs and harvesters built, and
Does it show an amount of how much you surveyed?
No, it says total. No. And actually now it says survey parcel again. Like it said surveying for a while, and now it's
Oh.
just back to survey parcel, but it's gray, and I can't push
Yeah.
it.
Try refreshing it. Maybe the Alchemica is like showing up now.
I experienced something similar, and I didn't refresh the screen. I just closed the little pop-up and opened it again, and it was loaded.
Yeah, I'm gonna log out and reload and do the whole thing again because I had tried
Yeah,
that
you
a
don't have to
couple
reload.
times.
I mean, you should just if you close that window and just reopen it again. It should if it's grayed out now, it should mean that it's been surveyed once.
So, no future, what kind of Alchemica strategy are you going with? Are you going to be building out all 4 different types of harvesters? Or are you going to wait for your VRF roll and then, just maybe hit up the 2 highest or the highest Alchemica, focus on one? What are you thinking with that?
I think I'm gonna wait for the VRF. I'm definitely Chemica. I haven't really thought about this before until I talked about it earlier today. I probably will see based on how the VRF goes, what like if I have any land that's boosted and is getting like an obscene amount of over the baseline, then I'll focus harvesting on those points. But I guess across the board, it's just going to be the same thing as the altars. Like get as many harvesters up and then upgrade them slowly over time. Like I mean, I say slowly, but I mean as fast as my liquidity will allow me. So there's probably you'll see me in the Bazaar channel trade for ghosts so I can get more Alchemica because hey, we'll make a deal, but give me some ghosts so I can build.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just
Yeah, I don't
wondering though,
mind.
with like upgrading, right? Do you think there's a point where it just like doesn't make sense to upgrade anymore? Like it's like, I think someone had said after level 6 it kind of gets really expensive. So it's like, do you want to wait and get some of your money back before reinvesting, or would you, go because like it's a significant investment from 6 to 9, right? Especially 7 to or from 8 to 9 as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I think of efficiency. Like that matters to me. Like 0 spillover for every channel. That I mean, it's a lot of money, but if we think Alchemica's prices, if you buy it now, if I bought it last week and spent the 2,500, it would be worth twice as much already. So it really depends on when you buy in. If it's cheap and you think the prices of Alchemica are going up, then I think it's worth it because I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather abstain from whether or not we should re-enable spillover. Because if I have a level 9, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm just going to go and channel. If my harvesters are at as high as I can get them, if it makes sense on the land, if it's a humble piece of land, then according to the information out there, it doesn't seem like it makes sense. Then no, I won't do that. But it's Coder Dan said this earlier. We're talking about it as yield to use in a great battle, which is part of the entertainment part of this game. So thinking of that, like I want to get as much Alchemica as quickly as possible because when we go into battle where we're basically protecting our assets, it's a real battle. It's not like there's nothing on the line. We're going to need to be ready. So people have to think more long term than just like what the prices of Alchemica are now and how high I bring up my harvesters because you're gonna when all of your financial assets that you have in this game are under attack, you're probably gonna be like, damn, I wish I had more Alchemica so that I can do what I need to do to fight off this invasion.
Yeah, that's a good point you make with the invasion, right? It's something we don't often think about, but the the one thing that might be of concern, is like we have to defend these assets. So if you have all these like high end installations and stuff, you want to make sure you have enough Alchemica for the walls and like maybe some defensive type stuff as well. I think just to protect your investment too. Like you wouldn't want to build all of this out and then it just gets all wrecked by liquidators because you weren't there that day or you weren't able to defend it.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. So like, it's gonna matter. Also, first Aavegotchi did make it's 90% from level 9, so there's still 10% spillover. I'm fine with 10% spillover. That's like 30 cents out of the $3.60 that the channeling will at current prices give me. So if you have 1,000 kinship gachi.
These yields are, per gotchi, that's pretty great. You see in other DeFi, DeFi, GameFi platforms, they tend to offer up a lot up front. You can make a ton of money in a very short period of time, but it's not sustainable in the long run. So it's kind of nice that we have this like token economy that actually is not only rewarding, but it's like sustainable. Like I feel like that could be that $3.30 a gotchi. You could be collecting that for a long time.
Yeah, and the more sinks come in, the better. So I'm happy. I just got a whole bunch of rugs, so I'm all rugged now.
Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit concerned with the timing of launching the harvest because there's not that many sinks out there as of right now, right? And we're introducing more ways of producing Alchemica. So obviously I'm pumped that we are pushing yet another upgrade, but from a tokenomics standpoint, I wonder how that's going to play out on the overall liquidity of Alchemica in the market.
I feel like we're gonna see something similar to basically when the channeling started, where everything started to pump because people start to build because they're gonna want, and then it'll reach a point where people have like upgraded and then they start taking their alchemical prices start to dip. It's not going to dip as hard because we're not being botted by 4,000 people every day or something like that. Just straight up extracted. There might be a little bit of a turn down, but I think the upgrade cycle might take. Pixelcraft is working on these sinks. I think that they're going to continue to do the crafting when, and there will be other potential sinks that will that could help that potential for like a dump.
There's some big things too. Like think about the lodges, right? Like the lodges are going to take a lot of Alchemica, even the lower levels. And maybe any other installations we might be getting that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, I don't doubt at all that there will be sinks enough to keep the game sustainable, but I'm curious to see how that's going to play out in the short term if we launch harvesters before anything else, right?
I think like No Future was saying, I think with the spillover being turned off, that might actually make a difference because right now we have all basically asset owners for the most part participating in this. And most of us are interested in upgrading our structures to a certain point before we feel like, okay, well, we want to take some of the Alchemica profit and turn it into something else, whether it's wearables, ghost, or whatever it may be. So there's going to be a build cycle, I think. I totally agree. But at the same time, probably over the next 6 months, we'll probably see a lot more sinks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that.
I always get FOMO after the fact when they discontinue stuff. Like with the mythical rug, I was like, man, I should have like totally wanted to mint that, especially at those prices. I just never, I was just like, yeah, it'll be around, and then it just disappeared, right? So
yeah, I was talking to one of my clients because he's like, is it worth it? And decorations and stuff. And then I showed him like how a mythical rug went for like 1,000 ghosts or something like that, which is well above whatever that person paid to mint it. And then it seems like the prices have gone up in the bazaar. I can check now, but I remember seeing them listed like in the, over 1,000 ghosts. Let's see. Yeah, cheapest mythical rug is 1,900, which I'm sure is not the price that. So it's a lesson, like maybe don't fade the crafted stuff in the Gotchiverse because it seems to accrue value, at least in some people's minds. Yeah, there's only 4 listed for sale.
I'm gonna comment on that with the scarcity as well. It's like some of these things with the rugs, it's like there weren't that many minted, and that's never gonna like those amounts are never gonna change. So there's like a lot of parcels in the Gotchiverse compared to how many godlike and mythical rugs there are.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be a flex, just like the Golden Altar, but just more of a flex. I know the godlike, there were only 17. Yeah, I wonder if Bearded actually got his rug back on his land after we turned the neighborhood to poop, as he
He
said.
did. He said, "I rugged you and then I laid you. You guys
Yeah.
got rugged, then you got laid." That was pretty funny.
How did
It
you
usually
do
goes
that?
in the other order. You get laid and then you get rugged, but all right. Oh, Thrax already has a great fountain. Grand fountain, rather.
Does he really? Nice. Looking good. I'm gonna have to get me a fountain for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I was on Bearded's parcel the other day, and I was just like, you know, we were doing that Gotchiverse event. I was like, man, if there were just a, I mean, we'd been planning it for a while, but just like it made it really feel like, God, there needs to be a big fountain right there. It just felt right, you know.
So this kind of installation is fun. Do you see other installations kind of that are like kind of flex installations? Like you said, a fountain. I don't know, like a train track, some other kind of statue or a monument of some sort. Are there going to be other things like that that are larger than just basic rugs, but smaller than, I guess, the full size of a parcel, like a tile?
So yeah, so tiles are tiles. Then you got decorations, which are installations, and yeah, I think I mean we're gonna continue to experiment with both decorative installations and also kind of more utility based installations. Like I think there's definitely a great place for both, and you can't really have the game without having a lot of more decorative stuff. Just to look great, you know, makes the world just more fun to be in, and it's kind of like part of the game at this point that you know you can hold this installation, and if the game if we are at a much bigger place in 5 years from now, like these will be OG decorations. They'll probably be collector's items, so yeah, it'll be cool to be to own, to either show those off on your parcel or just to have one as a flex. But we also definitely want to have utility installations. So there's been a lot of really good suggestions that we're working on. We want to definitely get you guys the for sale sign. You know, that's going to be fun. And then obviously the NFT display is the big boy. And we also have the party portal that we're working on, and just there's just a ton of different like utility based installations too.
The party portal is
So
something interesting that we'll be, I guess, testing out for the Gmi Guild Summit on Saturday, right?
well, it's not going to be live, but we're going to have that functionality for you, but it won't actually be through the party portal.
It'll be cool to see how just the functionality of it would even work. You know, being able to port everybody into the GMI parcel is going to be real convenient.
Yeah.
Pretty experimental. I'm interested to see, because we saw like the building at the very beginning once we got altars in the Gotchiverse, but there's still a lot of asset owners who haven't put altars on their tiles. They're going to have to now. So it'll be cool to walk around the Gotchiverse, see that change next week when people start going nuts, because they, you know, if they don't, they're missing out. You know, they're going to have to build. So I feel like the Gotchiverse is going to feel built out in the next coming weeks.
Like, you think it's going to look a lot more like filled out?
I mean,
Yeah.
go into California, right? This is what we're doing. We're in a whole bunch of people going to California, and they're building out their rigs for gold mining, or if you're in Texas, you're looking for oil. It's a blank slate, and once people realize that there's like value under that ground, because right now we're just getting alchemica from above. once it's realized, like you saw your parcel, 400,000 FUD under that parcel, it's like, why wouldn't you build? If you're not building, what are you doing? Like it's just like, maybe you're a whale. I don't know, but I feel like we're gonna see the development of the Gotchiverse like intensify starting next week, like in a big way. We'll see the altars start happening between now and then, but we're heavy industrial development is underway, and that's why I'm worried about the Gotchiverse climate, which is I'll bring that to the DTF, and maybe we create a climate task force for the Gotchiverse because we're going full industrial.
I feel like my Callum needs to sit on that with the Nori carbon credits that he's been doing.
Yeah, right. You have to offset your build. Your glitter burn has to be offset with a carbon credit in the Gotchiverse, which is like another staked position of some kind of other token that we come up with down the line, because we shipped everything else and they're bored.
Just reading hardcore's comments.
Dry humor. You cleared the. How did you clear the? Oh yeah, trees. We do need trees, especially if we have a whole bunch of bots. We probably need some kind of environmental accord. Actually, Coder Dan, I had a question. With the Grand Fountain, will it have collision detection as well, or will Gotchis?
You cut out there, but I think you're saying, will they be able to walk into it?
Yeah, like actually go into the water.
We did talk about it. For this one, I think we're not gonna have that. Because you can see there's kind of a boundary around it. This is the Grand Fountain. In the future, if we're also, this will be later on, but there may be a bigger fountain that would have like a more of an open area. But for this one, it's going to be. I don't think we're going to have it. It raises a lot of questions about alpha. What alpha is, because we have some ideas for the alpha on the actual Gotchiverse. Like when you walk on it, it's gonna have benefits. So if we apply those to those alpha, then this alpha fountain also technically probably should have some utility as well. So not saying it's not going to happen, could happen, but it won't. It's not going to be live on day one for sure. And
Yeah.
it's like an open question with all of the decorations. We do have some ideas for potential utility that we could add to them, but none of that is confirmed at this point.
Yeah, you just give me an idea. If you have like a raffle decoration on your land and you set up a blacklist for people to come on, maybe the raffle them if they try to enter your land.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Are you guys having any issue using glitter to upgrade your stuff? I'm trying to upgrade my altar with glitter. I click on it in the builder. Like when I'm in the builder, I see upgrade, and then the window pops up, but it just says upgrading, and it says 0%. It doesn't allow me to. I guess I put my glitter in at the bottom, right? So I put in 64,000 glitter, but then it doesn't allow me to speed it up.
You might have figured it like I did, because I accidentally pushed it through with only 3 glitter stuck in the upgrade for the next day.
Sorry, what did you have to do?
I accidentally fat fingered and put in like only 3 out of 6,000. So now the upgrade's stuck for like the next day.
Oh, yeah, but I haven't put any glitter in yet. It's just not allowing me to like submit the glitter amount, because when you put in 64,000, it should allow you to finish the installation, right? I've never used glitter before. It's my first time.
Do you have enough glitter though?
Yeah, I have 3 million.
Okay, your ball. Do you have enough of the rest of the Alchemica?
Yep. Yeah, I minted a whole bunch of Alchemica, so I have all that. I'm just wondering if it's like a bug or something.
Well, you know what? Try exiting build mode and go back in. Like, see if that changes anything.
Let's try it out.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump off here past midnight, but glad everyone's having a good time, and we will. If there's any issues that you guys are having, do check out the Gotchiverse updates. We posted a link there for a feedback form. So any kind of bug, any type of UI issue that you think could be improved, feel free to drop it in there. I will drop that link again here, and we're going to be looking at all that feedback this week, and we'll try to fix as much of it as we can before the 20th.
Dope. Yeah, I
All
guess
right,
at this.
guys. Yep. I gotta have a good Wednesday, everyone.
Take it easy.
Later.
At this point, I'm going to sign off too because I have to get on a call with somebody else, and then I have to help. So I'm going to jump off. Everybody have a great day. Real quickly, before I leave, we have the Gmi Guild Summit coming up this Saturday, right? Do you care? Quick pitch.
Yeah, for sure. So the Gmi Guild Summit, we have over 20 guilds and organizations that have like committed to it. But I highly recommend if you are a guild or a leader in any management role, definitely come join us like in the GMI server. I'll get an invite link there, but you can jump in the server, grab the summit or role. It's going to be a good time. I'll be getting a schedule out here pretty soon, but we're going to have speakers like Jesse's going to be doing a keynote on IP in the Gotchiverse and, how guilds can function under the Aavegotchi IP. And then also some additional conversations around what the DTF can do for people. We might get some people from the Wearables Task Force and the Arcade Task Force to come hang out with us. And then we got possibly Parcel presenting and also Music Parkour. So we have a bunch of cool people that are going to be presenting their projects. And it'll just be a cool space for everybody to hang out and talk about their like global vision for the Gotchiverse. We're not going to, and then we might be having some side discussions as well, but the whole thing will be live streamed. And I'm really looking forward to it. So it'll be a good event. And then in the meantime, Rigo Mortis and Bin Laden are also doing a NFT drop. One of them is a raffle. The other one's going to be an open mint. So I'll be getting details out on that today, but here's the poster. So there's that. And Gotchica is Bin Laden's project. So I'll get the details out on this for you guys if you want to collect some of these. And the proceeds will be going to Goops to help support them, kind of make things right. And it'll be good. So we'll get details out for that. Just keep an eye out. And that's all I got for the summit. It'll be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be the first ever Gotchiverse Guild meet. And it's going to be on our parcel. So you'll be able to click on the Aavegotchi UI on the day of, and you'll be able to actually get teleported right to our GMI estate in District 12. So that's going to be exciting as well to have all these people hanging out on our parcel.
That's amazing. Yeah. Awesome. So I guess at this point, Shepard, do you have any? Did it happen yesterday?
What's that?
The show that Zombie Shepherd has just recently launched.
Yeah. So I actually hopped on during their episode. I was hanging out with them, and it's pretty cool, man. It was a 1-hour episode. We're just talking about harvesters, what we kind of think with our strategies. It was a good conversation. I'll definitely be tuning in a lot more.
Yeah, dope. Cool. So at this point, I guess I'll close the room and we'll go about our days. Everybody keep playing around in the testnet. I'll likely be doing my channeling stream later tonight. It might be a little later because I'm helping Jim, depending if I'm like dead or not. But it should be 7 p.m. Eastern. It might be 8 p.m. Eastern. So just keep an eye out in the general chat. If you have any trades that you want to work out with me for land or gotchis or wearables, whatever, just hit me up and we can work something out. Everyone take it easy.
Oh, that just reminds me. One more thing. I just recently bought another H1 portal, so I'll probably do another portal opening one of these nights, either tonight or tomorrow night. Yeah, DGen things.
Yeah, roll that VRF.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
That's awesome. Right on. I'm good. Probably get some breakfast.
Yes. Okay. Everyone have a good day. I'll close the room at this point.
Right.
Take it easy.
Peace.